the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back, trackside. Once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, the Retro Kart League fires things off for race number 5 here this season, season number 1. And we're going to kick things off here tonight at the Detroit Grand Prix. That's right, Belle Island Racing, just off the way from downtown Detroit. Beautiful racing facility here. And tell you what, let's go high above the track in the Turn 3 blimp real quick, just to give you a shot as qualifying already underway. You can hear the roar of the engines down there on the track, turning in some qualifying times. Open qualifying session here tonight. So track, very, very busy place. This 2.3 mile racetrack is a bit challenging, a bit technical. You can see that double left-hander right there. You got to be careful to keep the grip after this quick hairpin. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's going to be right around turn number 8. Yes, I do believe turn number 8. So that's going to be a very close corner to be watching. Also, turn number 12 here can present some problems for some drivers, as well as turn number 3. We'll get into all of our hot spots a little bit later throughout tonight's broadcast. But first, what do you say we bring you some championship information as we still got about 7 minutes remaining here in qualifying. We'll get to those qualifying times here in just a brief moment. Championship standings look a little something like this coming into race number 5 here in the 12-week season 4. The Retro Kart League, you can see Mark Bruning leading the point standings. Michael Taylor right there. Stefan Rossman just on the outside looking in. So all of those drivers locked up with each other inside of your top 3. How about Chris Brown rounding out your top 5? Just 22 points out of your overall points lead. So a very close battle there for that top spot. And as the pre-race music fades away, what do you say we go ahead and drop some of that timing and scoring over to the left-hand side of your screen? There you can see last week's race winner at the Milwaukee Mile, Marcellus Bruning, sitting top of the speed charts in his 61 Lotus 79 machine, a 1:21.16, the fast time here in qualifying for Bruning. Johnny Hamby turning in a good qualifying effort, a half a second off of the pace set by Bruning. He's going to sit in second for the time being. How about Rafael Rodriguez right there in the third spot? Austin Dabb, Stefan Rossman looking to get back to victory lane as well. Rossman won a little bit earlier this season when we were at Indianapolis for the Indianapolis Grand Prix. We'll see if Rossman can put another iconic track on his list of race wins. Handful of drivers yet to put in a time lap. So as time continues to tick away on the stopwatch, there you can see it up there at the top of the screen. 8.5 minutes remaining in qualifying. We will shut the track down with 2 minutes left. So drivers only have about 6.5, 7 minutes if you really push it and cross that line in time to keep yourself on a flying lap as the track begins to come to a close. A lot of great vantage points around this beautiful track, and you can see just nestled right here on the island, just absolutely a blast to watch the races here. And really, if you haven't been in a car at Belle Island, I suggest you jump in one, get out there, go around the track kind of slow if you need to, learn the layout of this track, because this can be an absolutely fun-filled Grand Prix. If you know how to race it and know where you're going and know what you're doing, it can be absolute tons of fun. And Johnny Hamby going to take the top spot away, a 1:20.88. Now the fast time. 15 going to take the provisional pole for the time. Kick Bruning back to second, and that's going to move everybody else one position further away from the top spot. Christopher Hamlink leaving pit lane. He's out on a flying lap. The 80 of Douglas Small also out there on track. So it looks to be just about 4 or 5 drivers that have yet to lay down a fast time here in qualifying. Or I should say get out on track here in qualifying. 3 drivers haven't left the pit stalls just yet. We've got Hamlink and Small yet to put in a time lap. Christopher Brown yet to put in a time lap as well. So a good 5 or 6 yet to put in their qualifying times here tonight. So a 10-car field making the starting grid here tonight at the Detroit Grand Prix. And with this being race number 5 here, we're getting close to that halfway point. We already mentioned it and said it, a 12-week season. Straight points run to the end. There's no chase. You don't have to worry about that. No winning you're in. Anything of the sorts. You got to run consistent. Week in, week out. They are allowed, I believe it is, one drop week throughout the season. So the consistency is gotta be king. You don't have to go out there and win a bunch of races, but you have to put in those consistent finishes. You want to have those top 5s week in, week out, and I think that's going to be the ticket for a lot of these drivers here in the Retro Kart League. You got to get those consistent finishes. Sitting inside of your top 5, 2 drivers that have yet to go to victory lane. Johnny Hamby, who sits or was just recently on top of the pole position. He's going to get knocked back to second now, as well as Chris Brown. Both of those drivers inside the top 5, and neither of them has visited victory lane. So again, backing up that consistency theory. And Bruni going to take the top spot back away by just about 2 tenths, a 1:20.68. Now the quick time here at Belle Island. You know, they said they want to get close to the track. Let's go ahead and jump close to the track. What do you say let's go out there with your pole sitter? Do we got the on board with Bruning tonight? Yes, yeah, okay. All right, we're gonna go trackside here. Let's take a look right around the track. There's that double left-hander we were talking about into a hard right-hand corner. That's gonna be turn number, I believe that's gonna be turn number 9. And there it is. That's the corner that I expect to see some trouble right there. That outside wall really creeps up on you after getting up through the gears on that short little chute and through the first handful of corners. Turn 1, turn 2 right here. You can really lay into the gas up and over the hill. You carry as much speed as you can down this long straightaway here into turn number 3. A tight right-hander on the binders and down through the gears. There's Bruning, a little bit of scrub of the tires. Got to get back onto the gas and up through the gears. Keep the rear end behind you through turn number 4 here. Short chute into turn number 5 up the hill. And this could be a tricky one. Off camber uphill right-hander. And there it is. You got to watch it that the machine don't throw you into the outside wall. Great job by Bruning here. He's going to go down the longest straightaway on this track and into a tight right-hand corner. There it is, another tight right-hander. Going to go down the hill and double left-hand once again, right back where we joined. Bruning at the front of the field. He continues to pace around the track. Fast is out there. Pole position right now. A 2067 for Bruning. Oh, and into the outside wall. There it is. We seen it. We were riding with him. We told you it could happen, and that's exactly what happened. Bruning oversteps it just a little bit. That is a tricky corner. I'm telling you, very tricky. We've got a handful of drivers out there trying to put in their time lapse now. Just about a minute and a half remaining here in qualifying before we head trackside for the national anthem. So we're getting ready. Whoa, you could see that. Oh my goodness. Rodriguez, all sorts of loose. A lot of oversteer there. You can see the tail end really wiggling on this 75 of Rafael Rodriguez. Getting on the gas and up through the corners, and there it is. That tricky little right-hander will come around the double left hand once again. So everybody putting in some fast times, everybody putting down their qualifying times, and it's going to pretty much come to a close right here. Everybody out on track will get to finish their flying lap. Johnny Hamby gets to go one more time. Rodriguez is going to go around once again. Austin Dams, the only other driver out there on the track, will he cross the start-finish line in time? Looks like he's going to be able to do so, so he'll have one more shot at it here in qualifying. But with everything pretty much in the bag, unless we get a surprise, we're going to begin to head trackside for the national anthem. And there you go. Looks like Dabs going to cross the line, and his lap is going to be over with. Rodriguez also going to finish his lap now. Johnny Hamby also done with his time lap, so everybody stays the same. And we're going to head trackside for your national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
And we rejoin you back trackside here at Belle Island as the Detroit Grand Prix gets ready to fire off here with the Retro Kart League. 35 laps around this 2.34 mile track, 13 corners. Gonna challenge these drivers tonight. Close quarters on the street course here at the Detroit Grand Prix. It's gonna be a sight to see for all the fans beginning to file into the stands. There you can see them overlooking pit lane as everybody's going to go through final pre-race inspection and begin to head to the starting grid. What a run we've got ready for you here tonight. And we're going to move on through the season with only 2 more oval races ahead. Coming up in the next 2 weeks, we will be heading to Michigan as well as to New Hampshire. Those will be the final 2 ovals of the season, and then we will head into a string of road course races to finish out the season, and we're going to jump trackside as it looks like everybody begins to get onto the backstretch, and we're going to get ready to fire things off here tonight from Belle Island. As you hear the bells ringing in the background, you know the sounds, you know it's time to run down tonight's starting lineup in the Retro Kart League Detroit Grand Prix, starting inside row number 1, snatching the pole position tonight, the Blonde Bullet Logitech number 61 of Marcellus Bruning. Johnny Hamby going to line up just to his outside. Rafael Rodriguez and Stefan Rossman back in row 2. Row 3 here tonight from Detroit, Austin Dabbs and Christopher Hamlink. Douglas Small and Bill Smitham back in row 4. Row number 5 here tonight, the 37 of Chris Brown, and rounding out the 10 car field, the 27 of Razor Cut. It's going to go quick, and we're going to get going quick as the pace car's down and away, and on the gas, green flag flies for the first time here at Detroit. And through the first few corners, Bruning seems to have a handle on things so far. Clean and clear for everybody at the drop of the green flag. Already beginning to separate themselves from drivers in the tail end. Zerkut and Small having a little bit of a rough go, keeping up at the drop of the green flag. We'll see if they can't close in on everybody in front. There's Bruning going through turn number, I believe that is turn number 5. Chasing after him, Johnny Hamby, Rafael Rodriguez right there in that 75 machine. Rodriguez as well as Hamby looking for their first race wins. Can they spoil the back-to-back attempt here tonight from Bruning? Lap number 1, pretty calm so far. Nothing going on right here at the front, really. So let's go back to a battle, peeking to the inside. Was that 2 of Austin Dabbs trying to take a position away from the 31 of Stefan Rossman? They'll get through the double left-hand corner. Heading to turn number 11. Ooh, and you can see the tail end wiggling just a little bit there by Rossman. He'll keep Dabbs in tow, showing the way still at the front. Marcellus Bruning going to look to lead. Lap number 1, Johnny Hamby right there. 3/4 of a second back. Close racing action. Johnny Hamby and Rafael Rodriguez beginning to go at it. That's going to be for second and third for the time being. And it looks like already drivers to pit road. Bill Smith going to bring his machine down to pit road here at the end of a lap number 1. So look to see what kind of strategy he may be having going on here tonight. And already those gaps beginning to build. Bruning starting to step away. And as we said, Detroit, it's one of those tracks, it can catch you out in a hurry. No fast repair for these Lotus drivers these open wheel Lotus 79s, they can be pretty fragile. I mean, as all open wheel machines are, unless you're out there beating and banging, ripping the lip, or catfishing around a dirt track in the big block modifieds. Any of these open wheel IndyCar style, Formula style machines, you got to be very careful about any type of contact, whether it's with another driver, whether it's with, or definitely with a wall. But Detroit, one of those tracks that when you think you got it all under control, something can happen, something can bite you. Ooh, flirting with that outside wall here on lap number 2, already Bruning very close to overstepping the boundaries. And I tell you what, let's try to jump around the track just a little bit. Let's go back here, highlight Austin Dabbs in that 2 machine as he makes his way around the track. Johnny Hamby trying to chase down Marcellus Bruning at the front, but having no luck so far. He's going to drop 1 second back now as he starts to build the gap over Rodriguez. That's going to be a 3/4 of a second advantage now between the 15 and the 75. Stefan Rossman already losing some pace. Rossman 4 seconds back. We're going to head right back here with Rossman. As you can see, Austin Dabbs still not going away, still right there. If Rossman makes a mistake, look for Dabbs to try to capitalize. You see Hamlink off in the distance coming around the corner just behind these 2 drivers as Bruning lays down the fastest lap of the race up at the front. He's going to run a 1:20.99. That's still about 0.3 of a second off of what the pole position was. So some quick times here in race trim. We'll go back here with John Hamby. There you can see Rafael Rodriguez just behind him, keeping him in touch. And that's really all you can do is try to keep a driver near you, hoping that you can force them into a mistake by catching them looking in those 2 side mirrors, or possibly being a little too fast getting into pit road. Maybe you can catch them having a pit road penalty. Maybe you have a little different strategy. You can gain a spot or 2 here throughout tonight's race. So Rodriguez keeping Hamby very close. It may pay off for him in the end. Meanwhile, up at the front, let's take a look at race leader Marcellus Bruning in the Logitech Blonde Bullet number 61 machine. Clean and clear racetrack in front of him, and he's already built that 2-second gap. Now he's really going to be able to dictate the pace and really run his race from this point on. Look for him to maybe take it a little easier in some of these trouble spots we mentioned here tonight. And not near as much sliding around as we've seen in qualifying. So Bruning reeling it back just a little bit, dialing that number down, trying to keep himself safe and in the race till the end. Already 2 drivers in trouble here tonight. And on to pit road, Douglas Small, Bill Smitham with trouble, contact with the wall, and they're going to be on pit road for an extended stay, trying to fix their machines. Ray Zerkut, unfortunately unable to get his number 27 machine to fire here after qualifying. So Zerkut was down there during qualifying trying to get back into the car, get back out on track, but unfortunately wasn't able to get on track for qualifying and still not able to get the car pieced back together in time. Zerkut's going to walk away with 10th here tonight from Detroit. And continue to build the lead at the front is that 61 of Marcellus Bruning, now a 2.3 second advantage over this man right here, running second here tonight, right where he qualified. Johnny Hamby in the 15, looking to have a good finish here tonight, help his points standings out as well. Hamby came into tonight's race sitting 4th in the points, so he could make up a spot or 2 here in the point standings with a good finish here tonight. Just behind him, Rafael Rodriguez, looking to turn his season around. He's had a little bit of a rough go of it over the course of the first 4 races this season. But Rodriguez looking to turn things around here at Detroit, running well, qualified well. He's got himself quite a gap. Stefan Rossman, 7.7 seconds back right here to this 31 machine who's got his hands full behind him. Austin Dams has been right there all race along, trying to make a position as we go on board, looking back underneath that rear wing of Rossman. Jump back outside of the cars. The drivers begin to make their way towards the back half of the track. This is your closest battle on the track. We're going to keep it right here with Rossman and Dams, as both the Small and Smitham have been able to rejoin the track. They are listed multiple laps down, so trouble early here tonight puts two competitors behind the 8 ball and a third out of tonight's race. So that's going to leave us with 7 drivers still out there on the track. And 7 of them still left on the lead lap. Chris Brown going to bring his car to the attention of his crew. We'll look to see if this is a regularly scheduled pit stop or if Brown has had some issues. And it looks like he's going to be there for a minute. It looks like they're having to change the front wing, and it looks like the engine cover coming off as well. So there's going to be an extended stay for yet another driver here tonight. The 37 of Chris Brown has issues, and this could affect his top 5 standings in the overall points here so far. Race number 5 here tonight for the Retro Kart League, the Detroit Grand Prix at Belle Island. 35 laps of official race distance. We're about, what is that, about a fifth of the way? Does anybody ever say that? We're a fifth of the way through a race? Well, if they don't, I just did, and I made it up, so it's all mine now. Copyrights and all. Watching the closest battle on the track. Big gaps throughout the rest of the field. Stefan Rossman still trying to hold off Austin Dam. That's going to be for 4th and 5th on the racetrack. We're going to back up just a little bit, trying to see if we can't get you a little more action here. And I tell you what, let's jump around. Let's go up here. Let's check out this 82 of Christopher Hamlink. There you can see the 82 just behind Rossman and Dams, running in the 6th position. Looking to have a good night here tonight in the Sim Labs 82 Lotus machine. A little bit off pace, a little bit behind the 8 ball, about 20 seconds back from Marcellus Bruning. And I mean, Bruning, since unloading here, he has been on fire. And talk about carrying momentum. Bruning was having a great go at it when we were at Indianapolis Motor Speedway just a handful of weeks ago. I believe it was tonight would be 3 weeks ago. Last lap of the race, Bruning and a few fellow drivers, your top 3 to be exact, all have some big chaos and trouble. And that allowed Rossman to kind of tiptoe his way through and right on by, and he got himself his race win. And oh no, we've got trouble on the track. We're seeing trouble on the track. Issues here tonight for Rodriguez after a very good start. Let's go back and check the replay here. See what happened with Rodriguez. And guys, do we got a better... Oh, there it is. He's going to overstep it just a little bit and spin it around. We're going to take one more look at it here. Let's see if we can't find out what happened. Little better look as he comes through the corner. There it is, the right-hander. Into this quick little left-hand corner onto the gas, and it looks like it starts to step out, and boom! That's all she wrote right there into the inside barrier, and he's going to head straight to pit road. So trouble tonight for a handful of drivers. Rafael Rodriguez, your latest victim here, and that's going to put him not just onto pit road, but out of tonight's race. Rodriguez running well inside the top 5, inside a podium position, and trouble strikes. And Rodriguez exits early here tonight at Detroit. Lap number 9 underway. Bruning still in command of this race. 3.7 second advantage for Bruning over Hamby. Rossman right there. Dabs now sits in fourth with Christopher Hamlick, rounding out your top five and your last driver on the lead lap. Douglas Small with some early trouble tonight. He got behind the 8 ball very early. He's going to be listed 2 laps down. Bill Smitham still out there trying to gain what he can and get what he can out of tonight's Grand Prix race, and he'll move into 7th here in just a few moments, listed 3 laps down, and officially going to put 3 drivers out of tonight's race. Rafael Rodriguez, Chris Brown, and Ray Zerkut all going to exit early here tonight from Belle Island. We're going to jump back up with Marcellus Bruning, your race leader, as he continues to lay down some fast times here. Lap number 10 now already underway, so just about a third of the way through tonight's race. Very fast-paced race here tonight for Bruning, who's continuing to just get after it. And I tell you what, we went to him during qualifying. Let's see if we can't go to him again. I believe we've got another camera angle. We're going to bring him. There it is. Overhead camera shot here on board with that Logitech number 61 of Marcellus Bruning as he heads down into turn number 12. Turn 13 right here will come down the front stretch and into the final chicane. There's a little kink right there, and lap number 11 goes on the board. Turn 1 and 2 shouldn't be any problems here. Still having some grip inside of his machine. And keep in mind, for those of you that don't know these Lotus cars, they get pretty loose right around this time right here during the green flag run. So possibly look for some drivers to be looking to pit lane here very shortly. Or will we see somebody gamble and try to run all 35 laps on the same set of tires? We're going to have to wait and see what happens, how it goes down, and it looks like some trouble out there on the track. Johnny Hamby has a little bit of an issue. Hamby with some trouble, so what do you say we jump back outside of the car here with Bruning? Let's go back and check out and see what happened to this 15. Watching the replay here, Hamby down into the corner. Everything looks to be okay. And there it is on the brakes, and he's going to back it into the outside of the tire barriers. Doesn't look to be too much damage, so look for him to stay out here over the course of the next few laps, but he should be heading to pit road to try to fix that. I would believe it will give him at least be significant enough damage to slow that machine down. Still a big gap to gamble with, though. 10-second advantage over Rossman, who still has Austin Dabbs in tow. Look at these two. We're going to go back here. These two have been going at it lap after lap here tonight at the Detroit Grand Prix. Belle Island. Dabbs looking for a way around, just not able to find it just yet. He's continuing to pressure Rossman. What is now for a podium position. Rossman running in third, doing what he did here at Indy, basically just kind of biding his time, running smooth laps, putting down good lap times, and just letting the race come to him. So Rossman moves into the third position with Austin Dabbs right behind him, sitting in fourth. This is your closest battle. This is your only battle on the track here tonight from Belle Island, the Detroit Grand Prix for the Retro Kart League. That's right, great open wheel action each and every Friday night right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. So if you haven't already, you know what we're about to say, you know what we're about to ask. Show these drivers some love and appreciation and drop them that thumbs up. Let them know you enjoy all the great open wheel action each and every Friday night with us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Very important. Go ahead and drop that thumbs up. We'll continue green flag racing around the track here tonight, and I tell you what, we'll give you just a brief look at the track map. Let you try to find your favorite driver up there at the top right-hand side of your screen. And you can see the race lead right here. Bruning coming around the second portion of the track as Rossman and Dabbs just now heading down the long front stretch and into turn number 3. The 31 still has a half a second advantage, so not really getting off track, not really getting off pace or really worried, concerned. There you go. Not really being concerned with the man behind him. You got to run your own race. You can't be looking in the mirrors too much. And covering himself through the corner here, the 31's going to have to play a little defense. As Dabs gets some draft, he's going to pull a toe down into the corner, and he's going to be hard onto the brakes. A little bit of a rear lockup for that 2 of Austin. Dabs not able to make the move into turn number 7. Lap machine down on the bottom of the racetrack. I do believe that's the, well, it said the 86, but we don't have an 86 out there. I believe that may be Douglas Small. Let's go back. Yes, it is Douglas Small and the 80 machine off pace here tonight, moving out of the way for the race leaders, and he's going to be 3 laps down. Bill Smitham also listed 3 laps down. Everybody else still on the lead lap. Your top 5 still on the lead lap, still trying to chase down your pole sitter, your race leader. Dominating performance here tonight. Look at that, a 10.2 second advantage now for the Blonde Bullet Logitech number 61 machine. Marcellus Bruning looking to head back to victory lane for what will be his second checkered flag of the year. And let's make no mistake about it, that corner right there, we mentioned it during practice, we mentioned it during qualifying. That's a corner that you can easily overstep and have yourself a ton of problems and a ton of issues. So with 21 laps now remaining, it's not just a smooth sail race here for Bruning. As we'll take a look at him coming back down through turn number 3. Out of turn number 6 into the uphill turn out of turn number 5 into turn 6 there. I apologize. And we're going to lose him for a minute. He'll come into the picture after a run down the long front stretch here through the speed trap. There he is into that tight right, left-hand, double left-hand corner here. Turns 9 and 10. Coming to turn 11 here. Another quick right-hander. Man, I'm telling you, Bruning looks like he is on rails out there. Bruning on rails here tonight at the Detroit Grand Prix. Started from the top spot. Pole position, has not looked back, and he is going to continue to pilot on here tonight, slowly closing in on the tail end of that 55 of Bill Smitham. Smitham going to fall a 4th lap down here tonight as Bruning begins to close in on him. You always got to worry and watch out for those back markers as the race leader. You got to pick your passes. You may run up on them and want to get by, but you really have to time it right. Give not just yourself an opportunity to keep some speed and some pace on the lap, but give the lap car an opportunity to safely move out of the way where not only it doesn't put himself, but doesn't put you in any danger when you are making that pass. So road course racing, you got to be a little more methodical, a little more critical thinking as you head around the track. You can't just take the opening when you see it. You got to think if it's going to really pan out and pay off for you. And we'll see how Bruning can navigate through traffic. Oh, and there it is. There it is. Race leader with a mistake in turn number 3. Bruning gonna slide wide and check up into that tire barrier. How is the left front doing after that contact? Do we have an... yeah, we do. And everything looks to be okay on that left front tire. All the components still seem to be intact. So Bruning may be skating by the skin of his teeth on that one. That could have turned that could have turned a great race into a very bad moment. Bruning with a 9-second advantage. And that just shows you these drivers don't just get out front and get comfortable and, oh, we got a broke machine. We've got a broke machine. Douglas Small has some trouble, and we'll see what happened to Small. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look back on the replay. There you can see him down into the hairpin, and he's going to be okay through this corner. And this is the one that we've seen a handful of drivers have trouble, and there it is. A repeat, basically, of what happened to Rafael Rodriguez, and he's going to spin the machine. And definitely some broken suspension on that 55 of Smitham as he does. I mean, on that 80 of Douglas Small. And Small is going to get it to pit lane. Long trek around the track with a broken left front there for Small. And he's going to now be on pit road for quite some time. Your top 5, the only drivers left out there on the track. Everybody else on pit road trying to get some damage control done. As the 55 of Bill Smitham, he's going to roll back off onto the track, and he's going to look for a position or two. He's now listed 5 laps down. Rafael Rodriguez joins Chris Brown and Ray Zerkunt out of tonight's race. So 3 drivers already down and out. And looking to head out to Brooklyn, Michigan. Not very far here from where we're at tonight for the Detroit Grand Prix, and on the pit road here, just about that halfway point. Marcellus Bruning going to make the easy call to pit road and split this race in half. And as Bruning comes down pit lane, we're going to have a new race leader for the first time here tonight in the Detroit Grand Prix. The 15 of Johnny Hamby going to see himself well out and in front over a 20-second advantage over Stefan Rossman right now. And how about Marcellus Bruning, a 32.92 pit road delta, so Bruning able to come down to pit road, only lose that top spot to Hamby. And rejoin the race back in second, just about 2 seconds in front of Stefan Rossman. So we'll see if that battle translates into anything as we continue to watch the race at the front here with Johnny Hamby. Back around the a little bit of a slide. You see that left rear not quite grip the way that he was looking for it to grip, and he almost had a slide, and he almost went around. A lot of great action here tonight. A lot of good drivers in the field getting caught up and involved with the outside barriers. These walls, they are not forgiving. You may get lucky and find yourself able to hit some of the tire barriers, but you still got to watch out hitting them, and I think that may have played into the decision of Marcellus Bruning coming down to pit lane when he did. You could see just about the previous lap, there you go, previous lap, Bruning runs wide in turn number 3, overcooks the corner, and makes some contact with the left front with that tire barrier. Was able to keep it going and get all the way around the track, but Bruning had to come to pit road. He had to do something to fix the car to get the speed back in it. And here he is once again, still in a podium spot, under 18 seconds behind. And once Hamby makes that pit stop, Bruning will be right there to try to capitalize and catch himself back into a top spot. The biggest battle of the race all race long was between Austin Dabbs and Stefan Rossman, but Dabbs losing a little bit of time, and he's actually going to drop a position. Christopher Hamlick making his way up and around, and Hamlick's going to take the position away from Dabbs, who falls back to 5th now. Dabbs was knocking on the door of a podium position, but a little bit of trouble for Dabbs. He's going to run wide in a handful of these corners. Luckily not make any contact with anything on the track, but he's going to be well behind now. And what does the rest of the field do? Right now, we've got 5 drivers left on the lead lap. Johnny Hamby, Marcellus Bruning, Stefan Rossman, Christopher Hamlink, Austin Dabbs, all still left on the lead lap as we go right here, just a little over halfway tonight. 15 laps remaining in the 35-lap Detroit Grand Prix. And out of those 5, 2 of them had hit pit road. That's why that's why Dabbs dropped in the running order. He's made his pit stop for the evening, and he almost had some trouble there. The Logitech Fanatec number 2 of Dabbs almost into the wall. Tell you what, let's go right here. Let's go back here with Marcellus Bruning and Stefan Rossman. There you see Rossman making his way off the corner, trying to chase down Bruning, who is running in that second position, but Rossman still has yet to make his pit stop here tonight, as we'll jump on board now with the 31 of Stefan Rossman as he tries to chase down Bruning for a second. Will Rossman even make a pit stop? I believe these drivers do have enough fuel to make it all the way to the end of the race without making a pit stop, so it's all really a matter of tire strategy. Do you think you can make the tires last? And I mean, it could pan out, it could pay off, and it could spell some big points days here tonight for this man, showing the way, front of the field, 18-second advantage now for that 15 of Johnny Hamby, who's just been calm, cool, collective, and very patient here tonight, never really pushing that 15. And he has picked up some pieces after Bruning came to pit road. And Austin Dabbs has trouble. Austin Dabbs with trouble on the track. Oh boy. Let's see what happened here with Dabbs. Let's go back and take a look here. Lap number 21, the 2 has some trouble. Just overstepping it on corner entry. He's going to hit, backs it into the outside wall. You never really want to do that, but up on the curbs just a little bit, and the 2's going to pay the price for that one. He's going to lose a little bit of ground to the drivers in front of him now. Christopher Hamlink with almost a 20-second advantage over Dabbs, who's just going to be praying that something happens in front of him for him to make his way into a podium position. But I don't think Hamby or Rossman are coming to pit road. I think they're going to try to stretch this thing on out. Either they're going to stretch this thing out or they're going to come and get fuel only. I don't think either of those guys are going to be taking tires here tonight as we watch as Hamby comes around the start-finish line into turn number 1 with just 12 laps remaining now. Nice and smooth through the first 2 corners, through the chicane, and he'll head down the front stretch all the way down here to turn number 3. This was a trouble spot for Bruning while leading the race. Does Hamby get on the binders good enough? And yes, he does. He's going to carry the momentum down into turn number 4, turn 5 right on after this. Great line there through turns 4 and 5. Uphill into the off-camber right-hander. Ooh, a little bit of a slide up over that hill. taking turn number 6 down the long straightaway here. You'll see him emerge around the corner and into turn number 7, the tight right-hander. And into this tricky little section, we've seen a lot of drivers get caught out right there in that portion of the track. But this right here, as I said, if you really want to have fun, you really got to learn the track. This corner right here, turn number 12, it took me forever to really learn how to keep it out of that outside wall. And what a run through turn 12 right there. Stayed way away from the wall, kept a lot of speed in it, but Hamby is going to pull off, and he will head to pit road, and that will all but seal the deal here tonight for Marcellus Brooding. Coming around the final few corners, he'll make his way through turn 12 and 13, through the final kink, and he'll come back across the stripe and back to the race lead. There it is. 11 laps now remaining as Marcellus Bruning crosses the line back to the race lead. Stefan Rossman, what's he going to do? Looks like Rossman is possibly going to be trying to stay out here. Rossman back in that third position. Austin Dabbs able to pick up a spot as Hamlink has headed to pit lane. So everybody making a pit stop except for the 31 of Stefan Rossman. Rossman yet to hit pit lane. And Brooding well out front, 6-second advantage in command here tonight from the Detroit Grand Prix. And that's where he's been pretty much all night long, right at the front of the field. We've been green flagged the entire time here tonight. Every single lap ran under green flag conditions. Only local yellows coming out for a handful of drivers here tonight. 10 made their way to the starting grid, or 10 attempted to make their way to the starting grid. 9 rolling off. Razor could had some troubles and was unable to get the machine fired up and out there to the starting grid. He'll walk away with 10th place here tonight. Trouble in the race led to Douglas Small, Rafael Rodriguez, and Christopher Brown, all heading back to the haulers early, all taking early exits and showers here tonight. They're going to look to make their way to Michigan and put Belle Island behind them. Putting the field behind them right now at the front as Rossman's going to head down to pit lane. I do believe he's going to have enough time to get himself back out there on the track before Austin Dabbs closes in and takes that podium position away. But as I said, Marcellus Bruning, man, running very well over the course of the past few weeks, starting to turn that season around. The race win last week at the Milwaukee Mile. Great performance by him and his 61 crew. And he's going to back it up. And this is going to give him a big boost of confidence. 2 race wins, back-to-back checkered flag performances. And we're going to head off into the final 2 oval races for the season. We're going to head to Michigan International Speedway, followed that up with crossing the country back in the Northeast. We're going to head to New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And really, you know, I don't like saying tracks are in a certain driver's wheelhouse, but after a great performance at the Milwaukee Mile, track very similar to New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Look for Bruning to be very tough to deal with at New Hampshire. So could he possibly go on a 4-race win run before we begin to get into the final half of the season? Less than 10 to go. Bruning leading in the point standings by just 6 points, and he will look to max the points here tonight, leading the most laps of the race. 1 extra bonus point right there. Another extra bonus point for qualifying first. So Bruning already with 2 bonus points. He's going to look to cap it off with the race win and really starts to stretch that points lead. And with Michael Taylor not in the field here tonight, it does look like Hamby, as well as Stefan Rossman, they will be able to leapfrog Taylor and push him outside of your top 4, possibly outside of your top 5. Chris Brown did have some trouble, but he is going to walk away with a handful of points here. So Brown sitting about 16 points behind Taylor. He is going to close in, and it's going to be a close battle for them as they head into Michigan for race number 6, the halfway point in the season next week at Michigan International Speedway. But first, we've got 8 more laps here at Belle Island, the Detroit Grand Prix for the Retro Kart League, right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, each and every Friday night, coming at you 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Tell your friends, tell your family, grab some popcorn and some Sprite. Maybe you like some Coca-Cola or Pepsi. I don't know what you like, but grab a beer, grab a glass of wine, grab whatever you're comfortable with, and sit down and watch some great open wheel action each and every Friday night right here with these drivers and myself, Dave in the Cave, as we continue to pound the pavement here tonight. Bruni starting to increase the lead once again, and we have had a driver with trouble. Austin Dabbs has some trouble. Now race leader going to close in on him. Dabbs going to go around the track once again. So not enough trouble to relegate him to pit road, but Dabbs going to have the race leader all over him. Blue flags on display. And Dabbs will stay to the right-hand side and allow Bruning the racing line to the left. And into turn number 3, and Bruning going to make it stick. And he's going to walk away now from Austin Dabbs, and that's going to leave us with just 4 drivers left on the lead lap with 7 laps remaining. Just under 15 miles of racing left in the Detroit Grand Prix right here at Belle Island. We're going to skip over, I believe, about 200 to 300 miles and head to Brooklyn, Michigan next week for the race at Michigan International Speedway, and look for some high speeds next week. These drivers it's going to be all about the draft, I do believe, next week at Michigan here. You don't really have draft. You get a little bit of a tow every now and again if you can be close enough, but it's very hard to really turn it into something. Passing at a premium here at Belle Island, and with it being such close quarters, you really have to trust the car. You really have to trust your skills and know that you can make that pass. I mean, we've seen it happen. 3 out of the 4 drivers that are out of tonight's race at this point in the race just overstepping it a little bit, on the gas a little too soon, and the tail end stepping over the line there at turn number 12 and into that outside wall, a corner that I've dubbed Graham Corner. If you're out there watching, all my good friends, all my good buddies, the Thunder Down Under, that's right, you know Graham Corner very well. So maybe some of you are out there watching. Good to see you out there as well. Bruning still dominating here at the front of the field, but let's go give some of these drivers their highlights and spotlights, showing the way, leading almost every single lap here tonight. I believe there's been maybe 5 to 6 laps that Bruning has not been in control of since the drop of the green flag at qualifying. Bruning has been lightning quick, and the 61 Logitech Blonde Bullet machine looks to wrap it up here tonight with 5 to go in the race lead. Bruning sits in first. Back running in the second position, right where he qualified here tonight, the 15 machine of John Hamby. 7 seconds back. He's going to need... Oh, we got a driver into the wall in the background. You can see right there, that's the 2 of Austin Dabbs. The Fanatec Logitech number 2 has some trouble through turn 2 and into the outside wall on the front stretch, and Dabbs going to be forced to head to pit lane. But we'll get back with Johnny Hamby right here running in that 15. He's going to run in the second position. A little bit of damage on the wing. You can see it just there as we go behind the trees. There it goes. You can see a little bit of damage after Hamby had a self-spin and backed it into the wall, trying to stay out of harm's way. Fortunately enough, did not cause enough damage to put an end to his night, so Hamby will run in second. That's going to move us back to third, our final driver in the podium positions here tonight, the 31 machine of Stefan Rossman. A solid night for Rossman, a pretty quiet night, actually. Had some good battles earlier with Austin Dabbs, and Rossman was able to separate himself and keep a podium spot. The final driver to make his green flag pit stop. Rossman going to come down on lap number 25 with just 10 to go and get those fresh tires. So he's got one of the fastest machines out there, just nowhere close to do anything with it. Rossman runs in third. Last driver here tonight left on the lead lap. We are 31 laps into tonight's 35-lap event, and Christopher Hamlink at the Fanatec Sim Lab number 82 machine sitting in the fourth spot. He's up 2 positions from where he qualified. He is your biggest mover of the race. Still out there running well, trying to just reel in as many points as he can. Hamlink looks to walk away with a solid top 5 performance. The 82 sits in fourth. And that's going to do it for your driver highlights and spotlights as we head around the track. We're going to look, let's see, I believe Bill Smitham still out there. There's the 55 of Bill Smitham soldiering on here tonight. Down multiple laps. You can see it on the left-hand side of your screen. Down 5 laps here tonight, but still soldiering on inside of that 55 machine. He's had himself a pretty eventful night. Having some issues here and there, some self-spins and getting behind the 8 ball and having to come down pit road for an extended stay at one point in time. Smitham has visited pit lane 3 times here tonight. Last time he was on pit road was back at lap number 12. That lets you know the trouble that this 55 had early. But soldiering on, fighting through adversity. Smitham looking to break back into the top 5. He's going to have enough laps left. Will he be able to keep it on track and leapfrog Dabbs in the running order as Austin Dabbs looks to try to fix his car and turn at least one more lap before the end of tonight's race, but I don't think he's going to be able to get out there and get that done. Fastest lap of the race, this time turned in by the driver running in second, Johnny Hamby, fastest driver out there on the track as we join Marcellus Bruning out of turn number 12, turn number 13 into the kink. This time we'll see popsicle sticks on display for your race leader, Marcellus Bruning. Gonna bring us to 2 to go. 2 laps remaining here at Belle Island, the Detroit Grand Prix, and Marcellus Bruning has been absolutely lights out. Once again, the 55 of Smitham doing the gentleman thing. He's gonna stay off of the racing line and give the full racing line and turn 3 entry to the 61 machine. Just a handful of corners left to go. Bruning less than 3 miles away from securing his second checkered flag of the season and become your only driver with multiple race wins this season. Bruning about to do what nobody's been able to accomplish all year. Could he possibly? Well, let's let him get this one in the bag. But let's visit that idea. Could he possibly three-peat at a turn 12 around turn 13 into the kink for the final time? White flag will fly this time around. Final lap here tonight, brought to you by the Bond Bullet Racing Comic. White flag will fly here at Detroit. 2.3 miles remain for Bruning, and he has got smooth sailing In front of him, he's got some lap traffic, but I don't look for him to push the envelope and get himself up there in a racing situation with the lap traffic. Johnny Hamby right behind him. Hamby has been able to close in, but not fast enough. He's knocked off almost 3 seconds, but he's not going to be able to knock off over 4.5 seconds in one lap, not without Bruning having some big trouble. And halfway through this final lap, Bruning gonna head into the double left-hander here. Let's see if he can keep it underneath him. Yes, no trouble there. Getting back on the gas. Keeps it off of those curbs on the entry. What about that corner there? Beautiful corner right there. Late apexing in. Very close to catching the curbs, but not doing so through turn 12, 13 once again. Will come through the kink, and for the final time, he'll cross the line here tonight. Checkered flag flies at Detroit. Your race winner here in the Detroit Grand Prix. He will repeat and head back to victory lane for the second week in a row. Marcellus Bruning with a fine finish, a fine race, and he will max point here tonight. Bruning will sweep all of the points and take the checkered flag. He'll walk away with first man. Right behind him, Johnny Hamby going to finish in second with Stefan Rossman back in third. What a race, what a night here tonight from Belle Island. 35 laps of high-octane, action-packed racing, open wheel style, and these Lotus 79 machines and Marcellus Bruning did not disappoint his team or race fans. Dominating performance there for the 61. Great job by Bruning, and as he enjoys his cool down lap and gives some of the fans a better photo opportunity, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break, get things set up and ready to go for your post-race interview. So don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. back trackside high above with some beautiful overhead camera shots here from the Turn 3 blimp. We're going to take this opportunity to dive right in to your post-race interviews. We're going to head directly to victory lane and let's see how good he feels about tonight's race, backing up last week's race winning performance from the Milwaukee Mile. He's going to walk away with his second checkered flag now. Marcellus Bruning taking the checkered flag. Mark, how good does it feel to walk away from an oval and come and dominate a road course? Oh, I think we may have some audio issues. Mark, it's Dave. You got us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go. We got it. Sometimes we got to make sure the mics work around here, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Well, man, as we said, dominating performance here tonight at Belle Island. You had a little bit of trouble there in turn 3 at one point in time. How worried were you that maybe that left front suspension might have been a little bit bent?
Yeah, at the moment it happened, I'm thinking, oh shit, no, because I did something similar in practice, and it's really easy to bend that tie rod on that steering. So, but luckily I got away with it. The car felt fine. I took it easy for a couple corners, making sure everything was good and everything felt fine. So we just kept on trucking.
And yet, you heard us say earlier that you walked away with a win at the Milwaukee Mile last week. So knowing that you can get to the front and lead the laps, you've been in the lead on the ovals, but you finally got that checkered flag on the oval. You got a checkered flag here on a road course. How are you feeling about, well, staying up here up north in Michigan and just heading a little bit west over there to Brooklyn, Michigan, to Michigan International Speedway next Friday night?
Yeah, I think next Friday night's going to be a lot like Indy. It's just flat out all the way. It's going to be drafting back and forth like we saw at Indy. Michigan is probably even easier to go 2 or 3 wide in those bank turns than it is at Indy. So hopefully we won't have a finish like we did at Indy, and hopefully we'll be up there fighting for it. And it's a bit of a I wouldn't say a gamble, but it's really hard to dominate on tracks like that because the draft is so strong in these cars. Everybody can stay on your tail, and yellows are always going to bunch everything back up. So it's going to be a bit of a hustle to make it work. But that's speedway racing in this car, and I love it. It doesn't really matter to me if I win or not. If you have a good race in the pack up front there fighting for it, it's always good.
Yeah, absolutely. We couldn't agree with you more. And if you guys are going to be making moves the way you did at Indy, I mean, you do have a little more banking to lean on, but we've seen some great, crazy action at the front at Indy. I expect to see some good, amazing racing at Michigan as well with that pack. As you said, as long as you can stay in the pack, you're going to be right there with a shot at it. And this may work its way into a three-peat for you. Do you think? Do you think you
I
can
don't like
park
to
it?
make I don't like to make predictions. Every time I go out there, I just do my best. I love racing with these guys. I think we got a pretty good group of guys that take it serious. They do their best, and what happens. Nobody plays a mean game. We saw at Indy what happened there at the last lap. It was just unfortunate, but that comes with racing on speedways in this car like this, and we hopefully we'll do better at Michigan. It's a little bit wider track, and as you said, Dave, the banking will help us a little bit, keeping our 2-3 lanes separate a little bit more. So we'll see what happens, and I just hope we're going to have a good fun race and a clean race at that.
Well, Mark, again, congratulations on your back-to-back race winning performances. The only driver this season to grab 2 race wins so far, so that's a little feather you can stick in your cap and walk away with here as well. But before we let you go and enjoy this celebration, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home?
As always, I want to thank you again for the broadcast. I think you're doing a great job for us. You're giving us all the action to look back on. I want to also mention Maconie's Setup Shop. They've done a great job for us creating several of the oval setups that we've raced so far. The Milwaukee Mile was one of them. I think they've done a great job. So shout out to Lee at Maconie Setup Shop for doing that. And As always, Dave, thank you. And thank you for everybody that showed up today. And I hope everybody had fun. And we'll do it again next week.
Absolutely. As always, Mark, pleasure catching up with you, and we'll see how you go at Michigan, but enjoy this one. Until then, stay safe and keep it fast.
You betcha.
All right, there you have it. Final few parting words from the man himself in victory lane, backing up last week's race winning performance with another checkered flag performance here tonight from Belle Island. Marcellus Bruning takes the checkered flag. And man, what a night it was for us here in the booth. We had a lot of great racing action out there all night long. And as you can hear in the background, producers hitting those buttons, you know the sounds, you know it's time to run down tonight's unofficial race results in the Detroit Grand Prix from Belle Island, taking the top spot in the checkered flag, the 61 Blonde Bullet Logitech Lotus machine of Marcellus Bruning. Johnny Hamby gonna parlay his second place qualifying effort into a second place finish. The number 15 walks away second here tonight. Stefan Rossman gonna pick up one position throughout tonight's race. The 31 gonna move into the third and final podium spot. Christopher Homlink in the 82 machine, he'll finish in fourth tonight. Fifth place belongs to the 2 of Austin Dabbs. Bill Smitham walks away in sixth, sliding home in a seventh is the 80 machine of Douglas Small. Rafael Rodriguez has early trouble through turn number 8, and he will finish back in 8th. Christopher Brown walks away in 9th, and rounding out the top 10 here tonight, unable to hit the starting grid with engine troubles, the number 27 of Ray Zerkut will finish out the running order here in the Detroit Grand Prix, and that's going to do it for us. We're going to begin to cut off the lights and roll up the cords. But first, if you haven't already, race fans, join us in that push to 3,000 subscribers. As always, show these drivers some love and drop that thumbs up. Click subscribe, smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Dave of the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. So until then, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and we'll meet you in Turn 3.